Hey guys, Coach Erin here. A little while ago, I made a video about nutrition, and in that video, we talked about how much we should be using during swimming, biking, and running and triathlon races. We talked about good sources of that nutrition and also how the body utilizes that nutrition. Since then, I've received some questions about how to start applying this into practices and how to use it to prepare for races. So the worst case scenario would be to not ever train with our nutrition and then practice it on race day and have something go terribly wrong as far as GI distress goes. So my answer to how soon you should start practicing your nutrition is going to depend on how comfortable you are with nutrition during the swim, bike, and run part of the triathlon race, and also how great your propensity to GI distress is. So based on those two things, you're going to determine when it's a good time to start practicing. My answer is normally the sooner the better, because first of all, you're only going to get more used to having those things during your workouts, and secondly, you're going to have time to experiment what works for you and what might not work for you. And then finally, for most workouts, having calories on the bike or on the run is going to help improve the quality of your workout, and you're going to be able to push yourself even harder and therefore have gains as far as fitness goes, not only just as far as your performance on actual race day goes. So when we're talking about swimming, for race day, you typically will have a GU or some sort of small snack about 15 to 20 minutes before your race. So you could actually practice this before a swim workout. You can try having a GU in the morning before your morning swim practice. And with long course athletes, sometimes people might want to have a GU in the middle of their swim. So you can also practice this during swim practice by putting your GU or your nutrition on the pool deck to have in the middle of your workout. For biking, this becomes really easy, especially when you're training inside. You can have a little stool set up next to you to have all your variety of nutrition to practice. A couple of tips here that I would advise is make sure you're spacing your calories out over the course of the workout. If you have a whole bunch of calories at one time, you might get a little bit of a gut bomb, which is not so comfortable if you're going to be running off the bike, and it's not what you would want during race day anyways. So you can practice on the bike having calories in the form of liquid like Tailwind or Gatorade. You can also have waffles or GU or any other type of food that you would want to have on race day during your bike workout. If you're doing a brick, you want to also take into consideration the fact that you're going to want to taper off of your food right before you start running. So kind of plan that timing well. Finally, with running, you want to practice things that you're going to be able to tolerate in your stomach while you have the jostling going around. So for me, for example, I do better with GUs if I'm taking small little bits of them throughout the course of the run, as opposed to taking a whole GU at one time. I also do better sipping on water rather than having a whole bunch of sips of water at once. But these are only things you can find out if you're practicing during your workouts. So start as soon as you can and have fun with it and find what really works for you. One final side comment is some people need more salt than others, so you might want to look at the salt content of the things that you're eating and consuming during your workouts and see if you're cramping or not cramping and try and adjust for those salt levels as well. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Happy training!